Hello and welcome, all you wonderful 2B Dicers. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. With me is the wonderful cast and crew of 2B Dice Adventures. I'm your host, Daddy Tarzan, 82855 on all social media platforms. You can find me anywhere with that handle. That being said, let's go ahead and get the cast roll call out of the way, starting off with our resident demolition expert, Rawl.
You said it, I didn't. Hey, what's going on? I'm Oz, otherwise known as Son of a Ghost on all the interwebs. Tonight, I have the honor and privilege of playing Rawl, our Thursian Grenadier expert, who is now a hacker by trade and is expertly, deftly taking
Let's
over.
call it a hobbyist.
Listen, he's yet to fail, so I'd say by trade would be apt.
If I recall, a little encounter with the old Killbolt could have gone south. That being said, up next is our chess sniper, Cash. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hello everybody, my name is Jay, and yes, I am playing Kesh, the completely did nothing wrong last session, Chiss, assassin, agent, and totally did not just throw Core Atlas under the bus towards the ascendancy last session. Everything's gonna be fine, completely fine, it's totally innocent.
Just plotting the seeds for next plot hook, nothing too big. That being said, rounding our cast off tonight will be Oho. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, it's me, Victor, also known as Victor the Story Weaver, playing Oho, the Force-sensitive assassin, half of the dynamic duo of Oho and Rawl. And if you ever find yourself in a galaxy far, far away and you go, oh, is that Oho? No, it wasn't. You didn't see it. You never did.
That being said, that will conclude our cast for tonight's episode. We may be potentially joined by Ren, who plays Ego. Goes by the name Master Ren on social media. We'll let you know. However, let's go ahead and take ourselves back to the scene of which we last left off, with the party beginning their exfiltration of Imperial Army Forward Operating Base 4Z, with the TX-225 combat assault tank in the possession of the Chav. They make their way out of the base with the Imperial Army utilizing his brief experience with the military training procedures during his time in the Imperial forces. With that, he was able to blend into the formation seamlessly without drawing any undue attention. Meanwhile, Rawl and Oho work on taking out the remaining forces inside the base to clear the way for Pathfinder's 1st Regiment Auric Squad to sweep through and take the base. And in doing so, secured valuable goods and resources, as well as intel, from the base. Injuries were sustained during the excursion, but the crew managed to secure the base for the time being. After successfully combing the base and recovering said goods, the crew and Auric Squad make their way back to Voidfire Outpost and begin disseminating the information that was gathered, as well as begun planning for the operation to come. Our scene brings us back to the command center of Voidfire Outpost, centralized around a holo projection of a space station in the nearby sector. within this chamber are the various analysts and military personnel, as Major Brel Kamar stands at the forefront briefing everyone on the mission that is to come within the next few hours, where the rest of this adventure is heading. It's to be diced. Within the chamber of, or the auditorium of the command center, stands Core Atlas. Alongside them, the crew of 1st Regiment Auric Squad. Standing at the helm of the group of Auric Squad is Kesh. And you find yourself surrounded on all sides by various military personnel and analysts that take in this hollow projection of the battles of the space station that you are destined to infiltrate. Before we go any further into this story, let's go ahead and roll our luck points for the day. And if somebody would be so kind, please present the game table, and we shall proceed. Refresh. There we go. He's also got healing. Got 2 light sides so far. That's good. Nice. 2 more light side and 1 dark side. Woo! You guys are being stingy today. Would we like to roll for the 2 missing party members as well? Chev and Ego?
Sure.
Hey. 2 more dark side. I like it. Okay. Ooh. I get crazy now. All right, a little more balanced. That's good. Okay. Move these. Okay. The list is getting way too long here. So. Go. The crew finds themselves faced with a imposing station. On all a panned out view of this station, you will quickly take notice to various similar pods that are floating above the atmosphere of this planet that Banastar Station is centralized around. Many different pods are erected from the surface of the planet and act as fueling stations for the Empire. However, as Major Brel is going over the details of the station, it is made known that this also acts as a public fueling station for civilians as well, passing through the sector. Gaining access to this facility is easy. However, getting into the inner workings of the station will prove to be a much more daunting endeavor. There we go. Put that away. There we go. And for the players, go ahead and launch the VTT so you guys can see what you're looking at. Okay. Let's go to the scene. Station. Hello. Activate. And then invite anybody who needs it. Okay.
You can go ahead and throw it up there. I'm already showing it.
Oh, quit doing that. There we go. Before the crew is displayed a spire. And on each side of the spire is attached two massive pods, one slightly smaller than the other. Major Brell pans into pod 17. This is the civilian hangar. Infiltration team will make their way into this pod. Access to it is given freely as long as there are bays available for landing your craft in. We recommend you take one of your various shuttles that you have available into the hangar and make your way into the interior network of the station. Simultaneously, there's transport holding. Our target will arrive within the hour of your entry. During that time, infiltration team will make their way into the military section, into the military hangar, and clear the way for the bomb team to make their way into the hangar. That's when we'll arrive on the Delta class T3 shuttle that was made possible by Core Atlas's crew, the Mudhorns, I should say. As Major Brell points over to Oho and Rawl, the shuttle will be carrying a payload of detonite charges. Once aboard, demolition team will make its way down to the fuel pump. The fuel pump station. There, the demolition team will find several safeguards in place that would enact should catastrophic event take place. Demolition team will see to it that those safety measures are deactivated. In doing so, will ensure a catastrophic event and ensure the destruction of the station. Once that fuel pump is disabled, it'll keep the fuel localized in the pods themselves and could potentially knock out neighboring stations with the blast radius. Once that is done, the demolition team will make its way down to the reactor core of the station. There, you'll place the detonite charges. Simultaneously, the infiltration team will make their way to the command center at the top of the spire. It'll be heavily occupied. We'll leave your methods up to your discretion as to how to get into the command center. We have uniforms on hand that we could utilize as a means for infiltration, but we do not have proper chain codes to facilitate this infiltration. Uniforms can only get you so far, but with your wits and cunning, I'm sure you can come up with something. For the T3 shuttle, we recently came in to acquire a manifest thanks to my team's efforts on the Imperial Outpost 4Z. Kesh was able to locate a manifest of shipments being transported off Bali. And that will be our key to getting the shuttle into the military hangar. Once the infiltration team makes its way to the command center, there you will find which shuttle will be holding our target. We're looking for a prisoner transport. Our target will be a high-profile individual. They won't publicly be named. We will be looking for keywords, HVT, or political saboteur, something along those lines. Once located, make your way down to the military hangar, and with the security team, make your way onto that shuttle and extract our target. Once the target is secured, you'll make your way back to the T3 shuttle and be extracted from there. It's currently 2300 our time. Our mission begins at 0500 tomorrow. Make preparations, ready yourselves. Make sure your gear and equipment is up to standard and serviceable. RX squad, rearm, refit. Mudhorns, do whatever it is you have to do. We mobilize at 0400 outside the North Tower. Transports will be waiting for us there. Good luck to you all. The hollow projection of Vanistar Station dissipates. The bright blue light emanating from this projection disseminates, and the room comes to a dull light as the security team begins to disperse, prepping for the mission to come. ARC squad turns to Cash. Ego and Chav pondering the mission to come. What is everyone doing?
I think Cash gives everyone the same cold, calculating look he's always given. And simply just says to ARC Squad, alright, you heard the Major. It's 2300 hours. Make sure everything is at its peak efficiency before we reconvene at the North Tower. Now, you know the drill as well. Any last will or testimonies you wish to have sent to loved ones, you do so now before everything starts going down. Additionally, on top of that, I would recommend everyone to stock up on either stun grenades and semi-explosives that won't blow a hole in a space station. We don't need unnecessary casualties.
In unison, they all respond, "Yes, sir." And they all begin to disperse and make their way for the armory.
I think during this whole debrief, all would have been somewhere in the shadows in the back, just keeping an eye on everyone. I think Goho, being an Akani, reading micro gestures, he would be just very still, but his eyes would be scanning everybody just to see if there's anything or any behavior that may make him feel like I should be keeping an eye on this person, or something that just feels either could be foul play, or it could be just someone who looks like this person is just not ready for this mission, so I don't want this person next to me when we go in.
Yeah.
Anything that would catch his attention that could be of relevance.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me a hard cool check.
Check. That's a no.
You take a look around. Without delving into the force, you kind of just get like a surface read of these individuals. Everyone in this room seems to be steeled, emotionally hardened. These people have been faced up against near suicidal odds every turn. That's what they signed up for. There's no disillusions of it. Everyone knows the danger that they're facing and faces it head on willingly. So there's no one seems to give off any type of reluctance or apprehension. Everybody seems to be steeled and ready to take on this mission.
I think after that, Oho would just make eye contact with Raul, give him a quiet, just hand signal that he would know indicates armory. But also like an opportunity to potentially just step out and for the two of them to have a conversation.
Okay. Chav stands up, kind of stretches. All right, well, getting into the station's pretty easy, so I don't see why or not we shouldn't take the North Wind. Should be able to handle the whole situation, I would imagine. So, how about we all hitch a ride on the Northwind Chimera?
Chev, you do what you do best.
No objections from all.
Sounds good. Ego. What would his emotion be? Breaking into a Imperial fueling station. Not my idea of a walk in the park, but if we're gonna do anything, might as well do it the right way. I think I should be on the filtration team. Where's everyone else going to be?
Oh, he's not going to answer that. It would be just insulting for Oho to answer that question.
That's fair.
Same with Raw. He's just kind of. He's probably right now. Raw's perched high up somewhere in this room. If there's a high point in this room somewhere, he's perched up on that. Whether it be top of a cabinet or something, he's there, and he's just gonna look down at Ego, shake his head, and about that time, he's gonna like nod at Oho. It's like, okay, roger that, and he's gonna hop down and make his way past Chav out the door. He's gonna pat Chav on the shoulder, kind of give him that reassuring reminder, and then go see what Oho wants to talk about.
All right. You guys make your way outside.
Cash is gonna.
Go ahead.
Cash is gonna stealth after them.
Which is why Oho is actually planning to find a spot where they can actually stand like the watch out tower where he was, because the space above it is small enough. Oho is literally looking for a place where if anybody were to try to get close enough within hearing distance, they would need to be in a place where there's no way to hide. And Oho is actively looking for Cash if he tries to sneak, because he already did it. So Oho is automatically playing with the concept of Cash is trying to eavesdrop every conversation.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead and move the let's see, who's the owner of this? I need to make sure everybody is. If you guys can move that token, go ahead and move the token to where you want to go, and then I'll have Cash make a stealth check. Let's get rid of that token and give you guys your own tokens. Oho and Raw. There you go.
Let's see here. Honestly, probably just to the tree line.
Nope, no tree line. We are actively going to the spot, which is the spot where all was keeping watch the night before.
That would be...
To get there, you need to actually go up a ladder.
Yeah. I believe that was...
Which was where?
I think it's the building to the left. This one?
Yes. That's guard tower. West guard tower.
Oh, shit.
And you're gonna have to add 2 black die to your stealth check, Ash.
Hang on. My thing just crashed.
I noticed. Hello there. All right.
Oh, it's saying the page isn't working. Oh no.
What'd you do?
I don't know. What a great question.
You tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Listen, if I could,
What page isn't working?
You can't access
BTT.
the VTT right now.
I mean, we can keep going for now. We know where we are. We're
It's
literally on.
redirecting me too many times. That's what it's saying.
All right. So you guys make your way to the tower. No problem.
And Oho just told me I need to add 2 black dice to my roll.
Yeah, so you need to roll 2 die because I'm using sense advantage.
Okay.
Is still and then your perception Oho.
I am also gonna need you to roll 2 more setback die.
For what?
Because I had the same thing.
Night Sister, baby.
Goddamn
2 more
shooters. Yeah. Fair. Fair.
Very well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then
Do you want me to use perception or vigilance?
vigilance is reactionary. Perception is the intent to keep an eye out.
I'm not making this, so perception. Yeah.
Okay. So, with that being said, we have
He rolled too good.
6 successes, 8 advantages against 5 and 5. So, well, as far as you can tell, and Rawl, you are not being perceived.
Always still going to communicate in hand gestures and just ask Rawl, what do you think?
In response, it's kind of slow, as if he's kind of unsure. And he kind of communicates. He kind of lost me at the beginning, came back at the exploding of couplings and setting detonate charges, and then he lost me again. I'm not quite sure how we're gonna approach this without getting the schematics. An entry point needs to be found.
Alho just responds with, so we do.
The scale of this building is massive, with from what we know, the most maximum security possible. We can't just go straight in and figure out from there. We gotta have some kind of plan. All this is being signed.
Oho just says out loud, "We have faced worse." And then he adds in sign, "We do what we do. We let them do what they do. We make it work."
Too many people are dying.
Too many people always die.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll get explosives.
Don't ignore your new brain.
Still working out the kinks.
You see, Oho has a moment of pause. So, like, taking a moment to look at you. I don't think I asked you if it hurts.
You see him take a moment as he's kind of trying to assess, does it hurt? Because all up till now, he hasn't, it's been adrenaline. So he doesn't really, so he takes a moment. No, just feels weird. Like I'm outside of myself. Connected.
And he just has a like cliff diving, referring to like when they used to do like dives in Dathomir.
I miss those times. One day, again.
One day again. And then he adds, "I'm glad you're okay."
You worry me.
Always.
Speaking of prepared, and then he makes the hand symbol. I don't know if they would have one in Dathomirian, but they would have probably in their travels had to come up with a certain symbol or gesture for Jedi. And he'll do that and need help. With crafting. And he will like pat his utility belt and you'll note that's where he has the pieces.
He says, "I'll help," and then adds in voice, "in any way I can."
You guys are so stealthy with it.
And Oho immediately attempts to look down the ladder.
Yep.
Cash, go ahead and you're your stealth. So, give me a. This would be a hard perception check. Be able to get a read on what they're doing, especially from the elevation that they're at.
Ooh.
Okay. Trying to perceive them from the ground was a bit of a challenge, especially if you wanted to maintain your element of
Anonymity.
obscurity. So you choose to take on a higher position, just on top of the armory to the southwest or southeast. So you scale the building up there, and utilize that vantage point to obscure your silhouette as well as observe. You're unable to recognize this form of language that's being displayed. However, you can tell that they are communicating between one another, albeit non-verbally.
Oh, that was one of my questions, if I recognize the hand symbols, but
You wouldn't.
no. Yeah. Which causes Kesh to sort of like, as they're doing the hand signals and occasionally saying stuff out loud, like the few words here and there, and the taps on the belts and whatnot, Kesh just starts making more and more mental notes of interesting, intriguing, but maintains his hidden vector.
Gotcha. Rawl and Oho, you guys peer down the ladder. There appears to be no one standing nearby. You seem to have, for the moment, privacy.
I think Oho just has a moment of adding eyes open, ears open, always.
Eyes. Your ears. Where would be the most secure place to work on the sabers?
I mean, barracks are pretty public. The mechanics shop. Oh wait, what you're staying on is the mechanics shop, not the guard tower.
I would say that if Rawl were to ask to do this, Oho would ask for him to consider not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mechanic shop has a suitable workbench that you could utilize to work on the saber. However, you will be subject to potential outside purview. It's up to you, my friend.
We have till when?
0400 is when Orc Squad plans to mobilize, as Banastar Station is only a short jump away. So it's currently 11:30 at night. So you guys have 5 hours until mobilization time.
Does it look like the machine shop? Does it look like it's guarded?
There's occasional people occasionally coming in and out of it, but not like frequently. It's not actively busy, but there does seem to be people coming in and out of it every now and then. If you stay to observe for a while, you'll see that they tend to come in and out every, not exact, but every hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours.
Okay.
So what's the plan, guys?
I don't have a workbench on the Notha one. I thought we did.
Nope, you got to spend quite a bit of money to get a workbench inside of a ship.
Damn.
You have not spent any money on the ship. You've spent money on your droids.
The droids were needed.
You can sell one.
You can definitely sell one. You could definitely sell one.
You know which one.
That's Scuttle. Scuttle's golden boy. Leave Scuttle alone.
Skull's gotta go now. Okay. Do we want to try and go to this machine shop? Oh,
To do lightsaber work? Absolutely not.
okay. Well,
There's no way in hell that Oho is knowing that there's a very stealthy person in the premises and knowing that this is like very close to like Imperial sections. There's no way in hell that Oho would agree to help Raul with building a lightsaber in a workshop that is not even one they can control the ins and outs of in the middle of Rebel space.
is this just a big bay and it has a workshop in it, or is this
Yeah.
like? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the chassis of the ATST still dangling off the side of it. Hydraulics from the legs and whatnot, inner workings, so on and so forth. So this bay is pretty huge.
Oho does have something that they could give Raul an activity to do, though. Because would love if this is within Raul's new brain's capabilities. He would love to see if Raul could attempt somehow to get a read of transmissions coming in and out of this place.
Ooh.
With
Ooh.
a collection of computer checks.
Ooh, you're gonna try and battle my special forces analysts? All right.
I don't think I'm that smart, but we'll try.
I'm not necessarily talking about like, you don't need to take over control of anything,
Yeah.
but it's
Sure.
just the thing of like,
Just
we know that
transmissions.
there's transmissions. We know that there's a transmissions of the the Imperial bases that we hacked, that we just went at where the tank was taken. So we know the direction of that. We know that the other post that they have, which is the one that we send them toward. We know that there is the city itself, which is where we had the ships docked, and we know that we have this here. So he is just curious as to trying to get a sense of like if there were to be like a grid of like the signals that are traveling out and in of this place, are there any discrepancies? Are there any signals moving in a direction that they shouldn't be moving?
Okay.
Like any of people, like are any of these things actually going to like an Imperial outpost or some random place that is not in the grid that it's supposed to be, like rebel, channels?
Okay. Here's how I want to do this. I want to go survey the camp, survey the base, find where the communications hub is. I want to make a hard education check to perform the known schematic maneuver in order to pinpoint where in the building there would be that kind of high intel being stored. And then I want to make computers checks to hack in there and see if I can get any of the transmissions.
Okay, yeah. Hit me.
Okay.
Can I offer him anything with my computer?
Here,
Go
I will
quickly.
also let me present. Since I can't get the VTT up, I'll just present this instead. If I can get it to load.
Oh boy.
There we go. Okay. So, hard education check. Just for shits and giggles, I'm stealing one of those. Boom. Oh, hang on. I'm in there like swimwear. One success, one advantage.
Mm.
So I am making a schematic of the whole building. I am looking for location of where that kind of information can be broadcasted outward and received. And then I'm going to try to use my very fancy computer brain to make a computer's check. See if I can get in there.
Okay. So, as you're getting a deeper understanding of the network of this facility, you take note that the... Ooh, thank you for the Raiders, guys. Thank you, Smoking Barrel Tavern. You take note that a lot of the information going in and out of this facility travels through the analyst center, data center. So there they constantly scrub through the network to make sure there's no leaks of information, so on and so forth. And from there, the information or the network travels to the communications array off into the northeastern quadrant of the facility or the structure.
Okay.
So with that information in mind, you make your way into the command center. At this point in time, it is pretty heavily occupied, with everybody currently active in trying to mobilize a military organization in preparation for a large-scale operation like this. Going inside the structure is probably not the best idea to try and pull this off. With your one advantage.
So you're telling me I can't do this outside the building wirelessly? I have to go inside to pull this off?
With your one advantage, you could do it from the outside. However, you risk yourself being exposed.
Is my access point on the ground?
What do you mean?
I could do it from the outside, but exposed to like someone noticing that I'm hacking, Someone
Yes.
watching me do this?
Yeah, either way, you'd have to be in close proximity of the communications array. Somebody could potentially spot you from the outside. However, the more likely case is that you could be detected in the system from the exterior.
I'll take that risk.
Okay. That being said, to perform a external slicing, it is going to be a daunting difficulty with a challenge of 1. You are up against 5 analysts, so you'll have 4 setback die on top of this.
I'm going to use my ability to take away 2 of those.
Okay. I'm going to also cash in a token to upgrade the difficulty by 1, so you'll be up against a daunting difficulty with a challenge of 2. And 2 with the after your abilities calculated into the factor. So it's a challenge of 2, daunting difficulty with 2 setback die. Computers check.
Jesus. All right, here we go.
May I help in any way?
What?
One triumph, 1 despair, 1 threat, 1 success. You get in. You get in. You get in 100%. You do. Okay? Here we go.
What?
Here we go. Buckle in, my friend. We're going to go on a journey.
Oh my god.
Hang on.
We're going to go on a journey.
I'm going to mute myself.
What just happened?
Roll. You exercise this new augmentation that was gifted to you by Isotech and begin to externally slice into the network of the Pathfinders, looking for any oddities in communications, ingoing or outgoing. With your quick peer into the network, you don't spot anything odd in the incoming. However, you do pick up a strange outbound signal transmission. One that was not directed to Rebel higher command. One that was not directed to the Empire. This transmission was sent to the unknown regions of wild space. And with that, you take 1 point of strain as your connection is...
No, I don't.
Explain to me why.
I have ability that if I take a unwilling point of strain, I don't.
Okay. So you don't take the strain. That's fine. However, with that, your cybernetic begins to produce gouts of sparks as you are detected and the analysts shut down your cybernetic connection, disabling your cybernetic brain implant. As the despair. Your triumph, however, allows the cybernetics to initiate a hard reset, temporarily or soon to restore your cybernetic. It is currently in reboot. You cannot use it for the next for the rest of this social encounter. It will return by the time you go on mission.
That's fine. Did I record that message?
No, you did not have time to record anything. You were detected by this point. You discovered that information that something was sent out to unknown wild space.
It did not. There was no coordinates in the chain code. Nothing.
No one has any idea what's out there. There's no destination. It's just a message that was sent into unknown regions of wild space.
A message from this base sent to wild space. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Very well. All right.
It's about this time you do start to hear boots on the ground rushing in your direction.
I have the partner, so I'm gonna hightail it out of there as fast as possible.
I feel like the moment if Oho was keeping an eye just to keep a watch for Raul and sees like his brain sort of like wearing and Raul doing some weird thing, the moment that he sees him kind of like get back, he's picking him up and just walking with him elsewhere. He's just moving him away from the fucking place.
Okay. Oho, go ahead and give me a stealth check. This will be a daunting difficulty, challenge of 1 with Raul in your carry. See if we'll go with that.
Also, Kesh has not stopped observing and following them, so if he was stealth, he'd witness the entire thing of what just happened.
You probably wouldn't have seen Raul. He was down on the ground. He had to get up close and.
Would that count for the same stealth check, or would you need to do another stealth check?
This would be a new stealth check because you would have to get to the ground to get to Raul after his connection was severed, and then you're moving to a new location. That depends on you, Kesh. Would you change position and risk discovery, or would you maintain your position?
I would have changed position.
Okay. Okay. So, Oho, I need a stealth check for relocating with Raul. Daunting difficulty, challenge of 1. Kesh, I need a new stealth check from you. And then what would it be? Oh, and Raul, you guys are currently trying to find a new spot to avoid.
Waiting for sessions to work.
It's stalling out on me as well.
I am here.
And I am everywhere.
And I am nowhere.
You say wild space. Do we know what direction in wild space?
Bro.
Unknown regions.
Okay.
That's like tell somebody telling you, he said that in the depths of the unexplored sides of the ocean, and there's like, but which drop of water of the ocean?
But like, is it that way or is it that way? So I know which way to fly.
Well, for context, unknown regions is to the west quadrant of the galaxy map. So using that as your compass.
Okay. I need to Davy Jones my ass there, all right?
Unknown regions is to the west.
Very well. Okay. Can I open the BTT? Nope.
But if I don't have a green die and I cash a token, what do I roll?
You're doing stealth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get any more ability dice past your ability.
You get a boost die though, right?
If you want to cash in a token for a boost die, sure.
Sure, why not?
I'll take my 2 triumphs on my stealth check.
Yeah, see that.
I
I
guess not.
also have a triumph that you
Dice.
can have. Oh,
No, the triumph wasn't the triumph used though.
no, it was just thematically used.
No,
it wasn't used.
I felt like that was used.
Yes, unless you don't want your brain back for the encounter or for the mission.
Oh, I see.
The dice have spoken. The dice are telling the story, and they say I don't succeed.
Very well.
All the advantages in the world, I will
Not
give
at all. What the
the
hell?
advantages to Rawl, obviously.
Whoa, that's a crazy roll. Okay. You make your way down to Rawl. As you do, you can hear the boots closing in around you. What you didn't realize it was the boots were coming in from both sides of the command center. They seem to be doing a pincer maneuver onto you guys, and you find yourselves surrounded by the security staff, blasters at a low ready, as they isolate and detain the two of you.
Tracks. Tracks.
I mean, before that even happens, we can hop on the partner before they even come in that direction. I can carry the partner because I can carry 2 of us.
I don't know the whole recommended.
You know that thing doesn't go that fast, right?
Goes faster than they can run.
No, it doesn't. Takes them 2 maneuvers to get to you, and if you're carrying another person on your hoverboard, that's going to slow you down.
Shouldn't.
How so?
Because I increase its silhouette.
Would I have had a chance to perceive that these people were approaching?
Yeah, you could hear them rushing.
I think that Oho would have just told Raul, I guess we're going to have to do some explaining. But Oho, you see that Oho actually doesn't like, the moment that he realizes he's not going to be able to get you out of here on scene, Oho is already like, hands up. She's waiting.
What's the plan?
I mean, yeah, I guess Raw would also be doing the same thing. If he sees his brother doing it, then yeah, he would be doing the same.
Okay.
As soon as the guards get within sight of them and about to start asking questions, Kesh will come out of the shadows and just goes, "It was a test drill for infiltrating a high-value target. Stand down."
You see the security team as they close in, blasted at the low ready. You, Cash, make your way down from your vantage point to close ranks. Rawl and Oho, seemingly compliant. You draw their attention and brief them that it is a training exercise.
We are about to infiltrate a very heavily fortified refueling station that has a prisoner ship. Don't you think a live test on bypassing some very heavy security would be a good idea?
The security team sergeant steps forth by the name of Duran. Officer Duran. He gives you a respectful nod. Understood, sir, but that wasn't listed on the manifest. Are you certain?
Why would it be? It was a last-minute test and safety drill for us. After all, are you going on the mission?
I'll be part of the security team, yes.
Okay, then you should understand that impromptu tests and retesting is what we do.
Okay. Kesh, I need you to give me a deception check. Let's see. Who would this
Okay,
be up against?
what's the difficulty?
Discipline. Hard difficulty, challenge of 2.
Okay, then I'm going to activate my confidence, which decreases the difficulty of a discipline check by 1.
Okay, so it'll be an average difficulty with a challenge of 2. How delightful. Or actually, no. It'll be a hard difficulty with a challenge of 1 instead.
Okay.
There we go.
But a discipline check?
No, deception.
Deception. Okay, that's much better.
So instead of 2 yellow, it's just 1 yellow, 2 green. Or sorry, wrong colors. Instead of 2 reds, it's 2 purple, 1 red. There we go. My God, I'm doing this backwards. Whew. Confusing. Language.
Can I add a boost die because of my rank within the Pathfinders?
That's fair. I'll give you 2 boost die for that.
2 triumphs, bro.
Thank you.
Yes, you do have triumphs in your pocket, so don't forget.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? This is a very important roll. I'm gonna bank the 2 triumphs. So what does the 2 triumphs give me? Like 2 boost die? 2 extra boost die?
It gives you an automatic success on the check.
That you have already if you want to use them.
Yeah, I'm gonna add 2 successes to that pool. We'll see how I do.
Okay. All right, and you get another triumph on top of that. Nice. Very cool. And I you know what? I appreciate you adding the automatic successes to the roll. That's a nice touch. I like that.
Well, I mean, they were there, so I figured it would be useful.
So 3 successes, 3 advantages, 1 triumph. Sergeant Duran kind of retreats into himself after you assert your presence, instructing him that a unscheduled training scenario is necessary in an effort to hone one's skills. Sergeant Duran stands at a position of attention and acknowledges your command. Understood, sir. Security team, stand down. Report back to your stations. Everything is secure.
That'll be all.
And with that, the security team disperses. Some of them kind of have a lingering stare at the 2, especially a curious stare as some remnant sparks are still emitting from Rawl's CPU as it begins to cycle through its reboot. You find yourselves alone with the 3 of you.
As soon as they're like out the way, out of earshot, out of eyeshot, does it hurt?
Not sure what you're talking about.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Does it hurt?
Oh.
Gesturing to the sparks, semi coming out of the CPU in Roll's head.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Must have been my imagination.
you'll watch as he kind of cracks his neck, and he'll take 2 points of strain to heal the parts of machinery that are causing the sparks.
Okay.
2 points. There we go. I suppose we should thank you.
I don't require thanks. But the next time you plan on infiltrating a Special Forces information section, by the looks of things, possibly understanding hacking a system with no one in it is one thing. Hacking a system with several people who are good at what they do is another matter.
And yet, I still made it through.
True. Rebel Alliance versus Imperial analysts, however, most of this is held together by tape and spit, as some of them put it.
Well, someone here has...
No, nope,
Someone here has what?
absolutely not. I sent you a private message, Raw.
I can literally see Oho frantically typing like, "Don't say
Do
anything."
not get to even say those words. Because before any of that happens, Oho has been watching Cash very still, hands behind his back, and he gestures to you behind his back.
Oh,
Just a
well,
small gesture of his hand.
then yeah, no, I don't say that. Sorry, I didn't see this.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
With that, however, Kesh is actually going to make the motion for cliff diving and then turns and walks away. And just leaves.
Okay.
Like copying Oho's gestures for cliff diving and then just
Yeah.
walks away.
Very well.
There we go. Okay. So, Oho and Rawl, you find yourselves alone again after a quick save from an unknown, an unexpected individual. I guess would be. So you know he's an ally.
That's a stretch.
No. I will say what Oho would proceed to do is the following. We can take time for this, or we can just make this off screen for the sake of brevity.
Mhm.
But Oho would obviously suggest to Raul we should gear up. So, like, go to the armory here at the station to make sure that we get, if we need to get grenades, back to patches, smoke grenades, frag grenades, any grenades, anything that uses stun, anything that will be useful for the mission that we need to gear up that we can carry for us to do that.
Mhm.
After that, Oho will ask Chav to engage in conversation with Kesh, and only and just only when Chav actually has confirmed that they are speaking with Kesh, Oho will make sure to ask Raul to join him aboard his ship and close that shit so they can actually have a private conversation.
Ooh.
Henceforth, Oho is not having any conversation unless he knows exactly where Kesh is.
I like it. Okay. Very clever. That being said, you need me to keep somebody busy with talking, and talking is my middle name. I can talk the ears off a gun dog, I've been told.
Not the person you need to talk your ears off, so just get it done. Always not letting Chad finish his thing. It's like, no, you're not. I don't need you to give me your whole spiel. Just do the thing.
Yeah. All right. He makes his way towards the barracks where he would suspect to find Cash, or at least the barracks first, and then the armory. It would be his process of elimination, or maybe the armory would be first. I like how I'm thinking out loud, like Chav would probably be thinking out loud. Yeah, let's go to the armory first. So Chad makes his way there. The Goldskin Nothwin makes his way to the armory. Does Kesh happen to be there? I know some members of the ARC squad would be currently loading up on explosives and whatnot, especially Oleus, your guys' demolition expert. So
Cash would be overseeing them because he's going through his check and double check his sniper, his blasters, making sure he has an extra vibro knife, picking up a few stun and EMP grenades just for extra help and infiltration.
I feel like
It's just-
that would probably be the moment where like Raul joining the armory because they're also going to load up. Chav is there. He sees that Kesh is with his squad doing their thing, and then just make sure that he separates far away with Chav as he goes. Just relays the information through like the comm link. That is just like just the thing of don't ask me why. I just need you to do this.
Yeah, it's a big 10-4. Without breaking stride, he turns from the armory and makes his way over to ARC squad. Hey, Kesh, am I right? That's your name, I believe. Hey, what's going on? As a gun enthusiast, what would you suggest would be a proper carry for a pilot as skilled as myself? I don't like anything too bulky, too big. Sometimes I have a limited space to work with. Some starfighters I've worked with or that I've piloted have very limited space for accessories, if you will. I'm looking for some pointers into the right direction as to a everyday carry sort of thing in a compact format. You know what I mean? And with that, he just kind of goes off on these multi branches of along the line of what he's experienced, so on and so forth. Basically, just chatting your ear off. This would probably be the perfect time for Oho and Raul to break away.
Yeah.
Do we need to do some good old-fashioned stealth rolls for that, or?
I don't think there's a stealth about this. This is just we got gear, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Well,
This
we
would
don't
be.
need to- Yeah, there's no attempt of stealthing. This is just we went to the thing, we got the gear, now we're heading out. I just need to make sure that wherever Kesh is, I need Chav to make sure that he lets me know where they are.
That being said, Raul, you would be allotted a 3 charges of beradium. Nope, not beradium. That's going to be on the pallet for the military hangar. You would be allotted 2 stun grenades.
That's it? All right.
They got limited supplies, man. They gotta gear up their main force.
Well, in that case,
Let's give him 3.
seeing the limited supply, he's going to take stock of what they're loading up. He's going to tap his earpiece. Anyone got eyes on Dr. Cortella?
Yeah, she's still in the medical bay.
Jay would be her with her problem.
Yeah. Yeah, with you calling over comms, yeah, you would hear Jay. Yes, I'm currently with in medical staff treating the wounded. Is there a message you need me to pass on?
What is her status? And
Oh,
how many
she's-
wounded?
She's in great shape, still recovering from when you spoke to her earlier. And then the wounded, minor scratch wounds for the most part. Elias was here earlier from Oric Squad. He had minor blaster wounds and burns. Helped treat the patient, and everyone seems to be recovering quite nicely for the most part.
Let her know that I would like to see her about my cybernetics before we ship off tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass on that message.
And he clicked off. 2 stun grenades. Damn. Okay.
They do have an assortment of rifles available for use if you guys need any weaponry. They're nothing long range really. It's they got a couple of heavy blaster rifles, a crate of blaster carbines, several crates of blaster pistols, both regular and light. And that's it.
Do they have any weapon attached? Weapon
Attachments?
weapons
Mods?
that can be attached on mounts.
So mods, that would be in the engineering bay with the Celston that you were talking with.
Okay.
Just to be sure, I think Raul said mounts, not mods.
Yes.
Well, I need you to use terminology that's already in the game. So
Yeah. That's
either mods or attachments.
it's not a mod. It's weapons that can be mounted.
Oh yeah, the you already have the heavy repeating blaster that requires a tripod.
On a vehicle.
Oh yeah, that could be attached to a weapon swivel on a vehicle.
Okay, because right now the night bike has only mounts on it. It doesn't have any weapons on it.
Okay, yeah, you can put the heavy repeating blaster on that.
Okay, dope. I'll do that then.
That and a light repeating blaster would both be be capable of mounting.
Very well. I'll do the heavy repeating blaster. That's fine.
Okay. Gucci. That's personal scale, so it doesn't scale up like vehicle weaponry does. But yeah,
That's fine.
I will say, as Chav is talking, Kesh is equally also asking questions. Of just going, so you say you want a blaster. Do you have experience in that particular field?
Yeah, I've been known to shoot a blaster or two every now and then.
Any in particular? Handheld, light repeating, heavy repeating. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting that you're asking me these particular questions because I would assume that you would be much more suited to a spaceship rather than an actual firefight.
Oh,
And
yeah,
in particular, on top of that, it's quite interesting the fact that you looked behind my ear previously, which means you have experience in something that is giving you a bit of pause and a bit of worry. And additionally, on top of that, I'm a bit more curious on how you're here and those two brothers are not.
Oh, they're very simplistic. They both like to fight with their hands. I wouldn't be too worried about them.
No, I understand that. Believe me, I am just trying to understand your group more than anything else.
Yeah, I like to maintain a bit of a distance. You got a good observation. I'm very well adept in a cockpit, but however, I do find myself in situations on occasion where I am required on the ground instead of being with my precious baby. That being said, I'd rather be on the ground with a trusty blaster at my side as opposed to on the ground with nothing.
Well, I have seen your piloting skills, and I will say, I do believe I owe you a credit. Where exactly did you get trained?
About that, yeah. I did a lot of my flight training with the freighter company that I worked for. Maybe had some training on the side, but that's not important. Most of my skill is inherent. A lot of my people from Northwind are naturally gifted flight pilots, as you see.
Yes, I do.
But none
see
of them
that.
are as great as me, though.
Clearly, and I put a credit on the table. You said training on the side. Interesting. Most people don't really know how to handle a starship unless they've been formally trained.
Yeah, I had a small stint of military training. Nothing.
Was this local training of your heritage as a Northwind?
You could say that, yeah.
Well, I can honestly say that I'm also equally militarily trained, as evident from my stature. So I can understand the need to be trained by military experts on how to pilot particular installations.
Yeah, so what's your question?
My question is, military training like yours doesn't come easily.
Like I said, I'm gifted. Anyways, back to my question about the blast pistols. I'm looking about maybe a 16-inch barrel, maybe 14, something around that side. Modulated battery pack, a little extra oomph behind the blast bolt. Can't go wrong there. What models do you recommend? Zerka, Armatac, what are we looking at?
Here's a question, because I think Kesh would say he poked a bit of a nerve. He's just kind of tilting his head a little bit, and for the first time ever, unsettlingly, he's smirking, which is very unsettling for Kesh to do, because I don't think any of the Pathfinders have witnessed him tilting his head and giving a smirk as this guy is talking.
Yeah. Jeff probably gives you a curious look, but he seems determined to come to a decision point on what would be the best blaster suitable for his needs. That being said, the conversation keeps going back and forth between you and Chav for the most part. Probably not arriving to any certain conclusion. I would probably say it would end up becoming a stalemate in conversations for the most part. But as we transition to this point, we'll pick back up in about 5 minutes as we take our quick intermission with the brothers outside in seclusion, talking amongst themselves. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, 2B Dicers. Hello and welcome back, all you wonderful to be dicers. In my excitement for today's episode, I completely forgot to do our slate for the week. That being said, we'll go ahead and get right into it. So, Tales of Varden is apparently going to be doing 2 episodes back to back. So this Thursday we have essentially a one-shot coming up. Be on the lookout for our Twitter account. We'll announce it there once we have the details locked in. But we will be returning with Tales of Varden next week as well. Continuing the story thus far. Frontiers of Eberron. This Sunday, if I am remembering correctly. Let's take a look. Make sure. Frontiers of Eberron. Oh, never mind. This was this Sunday. So not this next Sunday. October 5th is when the next Frontiers of Eberron's episode is to return. So apologize for the delay on that, but we'll have Frontiers of Eberron season 2 coming back to you shortly. And then Star Wars Edge of the Empire returns on Tuesday. That is it for our slate. Let's go ahead and get right back into the story where we left off. Rawl and Oho, you guys specifically took this opportunity to try and find a quiet and isolated spot to converse with one another. What is your intended destination?
We're going inside one of our ships.
Okay. You would need to travel a bit of a distance away in order to do so. No ships are stored on site due to the limited space available, and they don't want direct ships flying to this outpost for observation reasons. So acquiring transport to get out there is doable, or you could break out the Rawls hoverboard and
How did we get here in the first place?
they picked you up on swoop bikes.
Could Rawl have taken his night bike instead at that time?
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah, Rawl would have done that. So we'll head back on my bike.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys make your way back to which one? The Nothwin, the VCX, the Delta class T3 shuttle.
Which is the smallest ship that allows 2 people.
That would
I
be.
believe my Mandalorian ship is
But
only
it's-
one person, right?
It's-
Ego's fire spray craft. Yeah, that would be most ideal.
Cool. Always in good terms with Ego right now, because you know,
You know.
don't worry about it. Yeah. I think Oho would have asked for the favor so they could get on the ship, close the ship. And Oho once closes the door, and immediately you see Raw that Oho is not weary, but he's definitely like in a different level of awareness right now, like a different level of something's going on, and he is on problem solving mode. And without you having said anything yet, once that ship is closed, he looks at you and doesn't ask, he says, "You found something."
You look at him. You also see the facade of what everyone else sees kind of drop. And you also take note that part of his face kind of sags a little bit um, as he turns to you and I found something and I lost something. What do you know about wild space?
As much as anybody else who has never had anything outside in those areas knows, which is there's not really much to track. There's not much that has been registered.
Right. Does this outpost look like an exploration outpost to you?
No.
So why would there be someone broadcasting from here?
Why would someone who has been so adamant to make themselves known as a defender of the rebellion and of the rebel security somehow become so eager to protect us from what we did?
You're saying there's another hand in play.
I'm saying the Chiz cannot be trusted.
Not surprising. They are pretty secretive, that lot.
It's not just that, Ro. When I tried to read them about Killbolt, it seemed as though, to the best of my knowledge, they were sincere about not knowing Killbolt is. If that were to be true, and they are communicating to wild space, then it means that there is yet another party involved, one we do not know.
How many more is it going to take?
You see that Oho just takes off his sniper rifle, puts it on the side, and then you see him lean against the wall. And then he just slides to sit on the ground. And he takes a deep breath. He looks up, then looks at you for a long moment, as if considering saying something. And then he's not able to voice it out, as he instead gestures it. And the gestures that he does translate to, I'm tired. And you know that he's not talking about right now. He's not talking about physically. He's just, you know what he means. And this is, I don't know how often Raw has heard Oho confess to such a thing, if ever.
I would think the only other time is when they met up again when they're on the run on Dathomir. Doesn't happen often. But peak amounts of stress moments. And he'll do the same familiar, me too, in response. Since he can't do it with his brain, he'll go the old-fashioned way, make sure that the doors to the ship are securely locked. Which ship are we on? We're on the Fire Spray, right? Okay. And if there are any like audio dampening capabilities on here, he will turn those on. He'll take off the 2 pistols, take off the belt, put those on the floor, and he'll sit across from his brother. He'll reach into his utility belt and he'll take out the rolled up cloth of all the lightsaber parts. Lay out a piece of the cloth out and take out each piece one by one. The rebels. The Empire. The Night Brothers. The Force. And then he'll pick up the green cracked kyber crystal. He'll look at it for a moment. Then he'll place it in the middle. The hope for change. We've come a long road to get here. The further we go, the more people get drawn into this game that we play. And now we're jumping into the fire, into this steel trap tomorrow, less than 3 hours away. Are we sure about this?
I think you see Oho staring at the cracked crystal and the pieces of the saber. And he kind of uses it to sort of center himself a little more. In his mind, he's actually thinking about Eliza. He's thinking about when he built his own. And you see him sort of gesture, reach for your hand, and move your hand so that it hovers over the crystal. And now his tone is going back to his usual, like, calculative self as he just takes into account the circumstances. The variables of tomorrow, as unpredictable as they may be, still have some variables that we know. Anything beyond that, anything involving walking away from it, running away from it, hiding from it, creates a set of variables that we will never be able to control. I think it's been already clear that we cannot fight an entire galactic war. And in the end, there's not really, truly any winners. So we fight the battle, we win it, and we move on to the next one, and the next one, until we have enough variables on our side so that we may choose how and when we stop fighting. And then he shifts his energy. As he just says, gesturing toward the saber and the parts, don't think about it as one of your tinkering jobs. It won't work. It'll only get you so far. Just trust. Whatever that means to you. When I did mine, and he pauses, I remember one of the thoughts that was present as I built it was thinking about making it back to my brother. Then he goes quiet again.
So those times that I felt you in the Force, where we glimpsed each other, those... Huh. Interesting. I'm glad you're here.
Me too. But now we're going to have to make sure to relay the information to Dove, to Chav, and to Ego. These ships need to be scanned daily. As for the mysterious signal, we do nothing. Not yet.
Nothing we can do unless I can talk to the good doctor to see if we can boost my capabilities.
I don't think we'll have enough time to risk for that.
No.
Because I don't think... It seems to me that if there is yet some other threat looming in the distance, whether we want it or not, they'll make themselves known eventually.
Right. Well, what do we do about this? And he holds up the cracked crystal.
Tarzan, would Oho have gotten anything that could potentially shed insight regarding the cracked crystal with all the fucking reading that Eliza had him do?
Good question. Let's see how astute of a student has been. Let's do a education check.
Jesus Christ, why?
We'll make this. You've only been away from her for a month now, I believe. So we'll make this a hard. Yeah, hard difficulty. Just a flat hard difficulty. Education.
Do I get any boost die for all this, the many hours spent reading?
Yeah, I'll give you a boost die.
I mean, I doubt that.
I mean, you do have plenty of triumphs to cash in on.
No, we don't.
Cash has one right now.
I got one success.
One success.
I have one triumph as well.
One success, one threat. With that threat, your thoughts are dwell upon your time on Dantooine. At first, it focalizes on the encounter that you had with the Cathhounds that ambushed you during your form training with Eliza. But then your thoughts travel a little bit further into your in a little forward in time to your presence on Dantooine. When you studied the remnants of what survived the destruction of this temple. Some teachings that spoke on healing your connection with a kyber crystal that has been compromised. The process of which is easily obtainable, but requires a certain environmental catalysts. A divergence in the force is one of them. That's the biggest thing that stands out to you, and you do find yourself come to that realization as you realize as it brings you back to the present that you are currently on Falleen, a planet that has a known divergence of the force here. The potential to repair this crystal is within your grasp. Just you need to spend a little more time thinking about it to figure out what those other factors are, or those other catalysts are. But you know you're in the right place.
I think Oho. Raul sees Oho look at the crystal. And then you just see him sort of go inward. One hand, fingers are sort of fidgeting as he's just thinking. There might be a way here. Perhaps after the mission. I cannot remember everything, but there might be a way.
All right.
And if allowed, I think Oho would like to take the opportunity before they head out. He wants to test the new crystal. Since he doesn't believe that they may get a chance to do that. Again, for now.
Okay. Give me an average discipline check. If you're using the force, or a hard mechanics check if you're doing it physically.
What was the discipline? Average?
Average difficulty, yes.
And I'm using command, so you can add another boost die. You can actually add 2 boost die.
And the reason why I ask for either or is if you use discipline, you can use your force die to generate additional success points.
And you
Just
can have my
one
boost
force
die.
die, or as many force dice I'm able to use?
As many as you have available to you at the moment. As I know you guys are situational with your abilities.
1 success and 3 light side.
So that is 3 successes that you generated with light side.
You have 2 more boost die to use.
He succeeded. He doesn't need any more.
Okay.
I mean, there you go. Oh, tell us how it looks as you focus on the teachings Eliza gave you in utilizing the force to attune yourself with your lightsaber and the process of removing the crystal and replacing it with a new one.
I think that he basically uses this opportunity to also give Raul a bit of a demonstration. So what he does is you see him takes his saber, and first he ignites it. So you're able to see the orange, the yellow, amber, amber silhouetted saber, and then you see him reach into one of his belts and takes out something in his hand, which seems almost as if he's holding nothing. And then he just shows it by putting it in front of the blade, so you can actually see the fractal effect of what seems to be this translucent crystal that he has in his hand. Then turns it off, places it on the ground, places the translucent crystal right next to it. And then he just says, "Don't try to look, just try to feel." And you see Oho eyes sort of distancing, peripheral vision opening up, eyes go glassy, and his hand just sort of races in front of him as if he's seeing something in his mind's eye. And slowly you just start hearing the slight sounds of little metal just sliding, clicking, and the saber starts to elevate and you just see it start to break apart into the multiple pieces. And you see the pieces just slowly start hovering as if they are this fragmented, separated version of the saber. Like if you were to spin it and turn it around and look in different directions, they all keep the same distance from each other. And slowly you just see as the crystal, the yellow crystal, seems to descend as the translucent one changes. And then he closes his eyes, and once more you start seeing the pieces start going now 1, 2 at a time, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They start all connecting until the saber after that just flies to his hand, and keeping it vertical, he opens his eyes, looks at you, and then ignites it. And as it ignites, there's no sound, but you feel like a little breeze, like a little gust of wind hitting your face, the same feeling of subtlety, of energy that seems to be present but barely perceivable, as the lightsaber seems to have this like
a slight radiance.
Yeah. Like a fractal little like ray of light that just got caught in the middle of glass.
An imperceivable blade presented before you. A nearly indiscernible hum, barely perceivable. You only pick up on it when you focalize your vision on this. As you watch your brother ignite the hilt, you know there should be something projecting from this device, but you can't see it. But as you attune to it, you can hear a very low hum. Something that cannot be detected without concerted concentration.
Rawl stares at the blade, or where the blade should be, and then a slow smile spreads across his face. And then he looks up at his brother. Better be careful you don't lose a limb to that thing.
Try my best. And then he just turns it off. There's a chance that he may or may not swap back at some point, but he just needed to test. He needed to see what was this thing. And now that he's being able to hear, or rather the lack of sound and the lack of visual is like, okay, useful. I know that this is probably going to work differently. Don't have the time to test it now, but as of now, useful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that, Oho just kind of gives a sort of question and look to Raw as if ready to go back out.
He's going to carefully stow all the pieces, wrap them back up in the oily rag that he has them in, and then stow them in his utility belt before turning back to Oho. Ready.
From now on, assume you're always being watched.
Nothing new.
Nothing new. And with that, I think Oho opens the ship.
The brothers descend the gangplank of the fire spray patrol craft and make their way to the Night Rider. and return to Voidfire Outpost. Our scene's going to transition over to Orc Squad as they finalize preparation, just minutes away from mobilizing. Each individual.
Why do I picture that? I picture Chav spoke the entire time.
Oh yeah, he's definitely been there yapping.
Sorry.
When he comes to the conclusion that holding you up with the blaster suggestion doesn't work, he starts transitioning over to inquiring different tactics when it comes. Actually, he's probably going to pry into your fight experience and whatnot, trying to, yes, Ren, your fire spray. Oho took a little liberty with your ship. But yeah, Chav would probably...
It went on a joyride, it crashed.
try to pry into your history and see if you got any experience with flying. But more prevalent is Orc Squad, as Major Burrell makes his way into the armory where everybody is at, and as he enters, the usual monotony of officer on deck, and everybody stands at attention as Burrell dismisses everybody. Return to your duties. Orc Squad, on me. And with that, as Orc Squad assembles on Major Burrell, he dresses everyone individually. All right, we've made some hard decisions. We're going to be breaking up Orc Squad into respective teams. Kesh, I want you part of the infiltration team. Mainly due to the fact that I don't entirely trust the Mudhorns. I need somebody I need eyes on. You're the best man I know. Make sure that they stick to the mission. Ensure that Rev Garland is rescued.
As far as I'm concerned, they are fairly trustworthy, but I'll make sure they stay on task.
Good. We also have uniforms on standby for you once you have finished preparations. We have officer uniforms sitting outside the armory for you and the infiltration team. We also have stormtrooper uniforms for the security team. Help instill a level of confusion within their ranks. They'll be identified with a red mark under their right arm. Look for that marking. We'll know that they're one of us. Demolitions team. Elias will be leading that mission. That being said, a lot rides on this mission, gentlemen. Trust your instincts. They got you this far. Make sure all preparations are finalized, and I'm going to speak with the Mudhorns and see if they have any recommendations on who they would like to add to security or the demolitions team. Kesh, from your observations, is there anyone I should keep a particular eye out for?
Look at Chav. Chav can talk his way through, so security is a good option for him, or a getaway flyer is equally probably more valuable in his particular repertoire and arsenal. Additionally, on top of that, the one named Roll. He's way more of a heavy hitter and seems to have perked up more when it came to explosives, so demolition should be his forte first and foremost. Oho is like me. Observation, stealth, and when need be, assassination. Inaccurate.
Very well. Chav probably chimes up. Hey, listen, I appreciate the recommendation and everything, but I'm flying the Northwind. That's my baby. All right. I'm not flying anything else. So I'll be taking the Mudhorns, or whatever you want to call them, in through the civilian hangar, as per Mr. Major over here instructed. But if you need a recommendation, I highly recommend my boy Ego. He can charm the pants off of an Imperial, if he had it in him. That being said, he might be able to be your ticket into getting into the military hangar.
Then that's our way in.
It's a good suggestion. Manifests and chain codes can get you so far. We do need somebody that can talk the way into military installation. So we'll take that recommendation in consideration, Chef. Thank you. And no big deal. Just remember, if there's any chance of pay, we could definitely use it. Running a little shy on cash here, but just putting it out there. Didn't know if there was a chance for pay. We're putting our necks out there, but as Mr. Blue,
Kesh just like looks at it, like slowly his head turns as Chav is talking, and just goes,
I would like to point out the person we're rescuing is quote unquote our wallet.
Oh, even better. Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely make sure that he gets rescued. Then, no, Mr. Moneybags is the rescue target. Got it. Kind of just.
And Kesh hasn't broken eye contact. Kesh hasn't even blinked the entire time. Chav is slowly backing out of the armory, just like.
At this point, Brell reaches behind himself, reaches into his pack and pulls out this large device and holds it out to you. All right, Kesh, managed to acquire this. It's a droid targeting system. Will prove quite useful. Attach it to your rifle. Granted, long range ain't going to be much of a option in space, but it can prove useful.
Noted.
That being said, we all know the risks. Make your final wishes to anybody. Be careful. On your death, those wishes will be sent out.
I need to make just one final checkup, and then I shall be joining all of you at the rendezvous.
Sounds good. All right, Orc Squad, you're dismissed. If you need anything, I'll be with the Mudhorns and making final preparations.
Is he gonna be with the Mudhorns?
Kesh is going to go to the communication.
Oho would love to return the favor, Kesh.
If you can find him.
That's a good point. That being said, yeah, Brell's probably gonna walk around with Chav for a little bit, trying to find the rest of the mudhorns. Cash, what's your intended destination?
The communications hub, the impromptu test. Kesh would like to know what it is that Rawl pulled.
Would like to know what he found. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier to Rawl, it is quite busy in there today, or tonight, I should say. Are you intending on being? I mean, you being there is not an odd sighting. You being there is common. So, that being said, making your way to the communications hub will be an average difficulty stealth check to avoid detection. There is going to be 3 analysts in the communications hub. So you have a small window of which you can do your scan of, unless if you're trying to be stealthy about it. If you're not trying to be stealthy about it, then it'll just be an open computers check.
Well, it's more along the lines of speaking to one of the analysts, of just going, we had an impromptu test of hacking into a secure line. I would like to know how that report went, because obviously I'm pretty sure you kept everything in check.
Female Twi'lek, green, blue skin with head tails, formerly dressed at in a interlocking formation at the back of her head, carefully, as the head tails are sensitive, but with red tribal markings, all starting from the base of the head tails all the way down. Blue eyes. You know her by the name of Ina, Lieutenant Ina. She looks at you. She looks up to you, standing about 5'4". Initial scans. It's strange. They seem to have picked up some type of. We'll get to that. They seem to have picked up some type of outgoing message coming from the center to the unknown regions of space. Maybe it was a missending. There's no discernible destination for the transmission. Possibly incorrect.
Impromptu tests tend to have missendings and just false transmissions all the time, just to help with trying to pull some form of data from the computers.
And then the lieutenant nods in agreement. It's just strange. Why would a message be sent out to unknown regions from the communications hub? But we'll look into it. See if analysts turn up anything. Maybe it's nothing, but
To be perfectly honest, that was mine. It was a private message to my mother. I am from the unknown regions, after all.
Ooh. Let's see. Very curious.
Wasn't prepared for him to come clean.
I technically didn't tell a lie. I just worded it.
Interesting. I need. I don't know how to run this. This is a very interesting turn of events. Very interesting. Let's go with. Let's go with a charm check. We'll make this a. Who's my analyst? I need an analyst. Where's my analyst at?
I'm gonna cash in the triumph that I gained and get an automatic success for this because my charm is not good.
Let's call this a average difficulty. I'm going to cash in a dark side token to upgrade that to a challenge of 1. So an average difficulty with a challenge of 1. You have an automatic success cashed in. Okay.
And can I do the same thing of pulling my rank of adding 2 boost dice? Would that work in this,
I'll give it to you.
Instance, or no?
Okay. Well, 1. I'll give you 1 to this instance.
Okay. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, charm is not Kesh's forte.
Well,
do I have anything for this? I
Prayer.
am checking.
Oh, prayer.
No, I am entirely fucked. I am completely fucked.
Lieutenant Ina kind of gives you this quizzical nod. Very, very well, sir. I'll be sure to notate that in my report. For the time being, I must ask you to leave the communications array as we have sensitive information to go over, and you don't have clearance for what we're about to investigate. I'm sorry, sir.
Very well. No, that is understandable. Kesh
With that,
lingers for a little bit. He kind of guesses he had a little bit of a crack in the defense there before turning around and walking out.
as you're making your way out, you do at this point take note that all eyes are on you in the communications hub. Every one of them are looking at you with a pointed concern. And you make your way out of the communications hall. Oh, where are you at?
As soon
Eating popcorn.
As soon as he's walking out there, his pace semi-quickens, and if anyone is looking at Kesh, Kesh is doing the quickest calculations in his head.
Oh, it's just invisibly walking, hearing the gears turning in Kesh's head.
Whether or not your fib is believed, you have a gut sensation. Chists don't rely on guts. They rely on facts and statistics. You're kind of kicking yourself.
What they can see.
You're kicking yourself because utilizing the mom line, the mom message fib was too much of a gamble because of the fact that the level of operations that you operate at requires the utmost operational security. Transmissions to family members from an unknown position in Imperial space is forbidden. And you improvised on the spot in the moment, and you now have this sinking sensation in your gut. What that is, you don't know. But the calculations do not.
Yep. No. I will say Kesh just goes, how many of these rebels am I going to have to kill to maintain my cover, I wonder? As he gets into he says that under his breath, to the point of him just like his hand is gripping into a fist on this is now an error in my calculations, and I might need to rectify it.
Cash, what is your intended destination at this time?
I would say just outside the base, staring out into the forest, just trying to center with logic and trying to just map out steps.
Okay. North or south?
Maybe the south.
Strategically speaking, yeah, I would say probably south would be your best bet. That would give you your best avenue of escape if you chose to go that way, go that route.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself out by the south gate or south guard tower, a little ways outward towards the tree line, or out of the canopy of the tree line. However, our scene's going to transition towards Oho, as he is making his way towards Major Brell. All right, Ego, I need you on security detail. I need you to fly the Delta Class T3 shuttle. Been told you got away with Woods. You can charm your way into Imperial hangar. So we're going to need that charm. Oh, yeah, I suppose I could do that for you. Breaking into Imperial bases seems to be my favorite pastime at this point. Yeah, I can do that. Very well. You'll be in good company. We'll have your back, I promise. And it's probably by this point that, you make your presence known.
I need a word.
Yeah, I've been looking for you and your brother.
what we are going to, I need to say now, because there's a chance that information is going to start moving, and there's a chance that information is going to make us an accomplice, and I just want to make sure that we are not caught in the crossfire because of some infiltration that you may have at your base.
Pray tell, what information would that be?
I need to know who is currently in this place. If there are people that he basically would say, if there's any people that you don't trust enough to hear this information, I suggest you clear the room as much as you want. I know that you do not trust us, but I want to assure you what I'm about to tell you is going to be the truth. Whether or not you choose to believe it, that is up to you. But the risks to that which I care are at stake. And so I must speak before the information is twisted.
Very well. All right, before we fire outposts, give us the room. And with that, security team, the armory staff, everyone begins to clear out and filter out of the armory. Chev, Ego, and begin to look at each other, then to you, and then kind of slowly start making their way towards the door. Ego, or Chav more so, remaining in place. So does that include me, or
you guys can stay, as this was probably going to pertain to you as well. It's going to potentially affect, if it affects me, it affects all of us.
Oh, good. Very well. Rawl, are you in this chamber as well? Okay. As the last person filters out of the armory, Chav goes to close the door behind him, behind the rest of the staff, leaving just you and Major Brell alone. All right, what's the urgency?
So I don't know if you have heard of it or not yet, but the information is going to reach you about the fact that there were some of your members actually, and Oho probably would have gathered information about who are the people that are in the space. Who would have called the name of this officer, and this officer probably would have relayed information about something that my brother Rawl and I would have been caught doing related to the communications array, which then was mentioned and dismissed because of your soldier Kesh said that it was actually an exercise, which it wasn't. He decided to cover for us, even though he was not sure of what we were doing. I will tell you what we were doing. I tend to be a very cautious individual. I wasn't sure that I could trust anyone who was here because the information that led us to find you and to help you came from sources that we also not fully trust. Because of that, I asked my brother to make the attempt, the very risk attempt, to his own sanity and his own health, to attempt to see if they could find information about signals and messages being sent from the space. He was able to retrieve information that informed that there was a signal that was emerging from here, from your comms relay, to the wild space sectors. Surprisingly enough, to my assumption, the fact that Kesh decided to cover for us, even though he saw us doing this guarding, made me apprehensive about it. After the previous conversation we just had here, I followed him, and I actually was able to reach the comms as where I saw him having a conversation with one of your agents in the comms array. Something tells me that in the next few minutes you're going to receive information by someone that is going to say that they may have found something of an inconsistency and is going to relate to Kesh. Now, whether or not they are confronted with him, there's a chance that Kesh may decide to use us because we are the newcomers as the people that may be responsible for this, as a way for him to clear his name and make us be the scapegoats. Now, whether or not there are more communications like the one that my brother found that would date even further back from where we have arrived here, that is something you can find out, in which case you will know that we are telling the truth. My guess is you're going to receive communications very soon. If I knew this information and I know that you're going to receive a communication and I was actually guilty, would I be standing here before you waiting for your soldiers to have the chance to surround us? And with that, Oho just falls silent.
So you're telling me my most trusted agent, my most trusted operative, is a double agent. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you that there was information that occurred that is outside of your awareness that we caught. I cannot tell you the intentions of your agent. I cannot tell you whether or not his contacts were foul play. All that I can tell you is he seemed eager to try to dismiss the reason for that signal to be there when one of your communications array agents suggested for it to be explored further. I think that's for you.
He turns his attention to his data pad that's currently chirping at him. Scrolls through the information that's being displayed on this device. Very well. This changes nothing. We stay on the mission. If he is in fact a double agent, we can potentially use this to our advantage, but for the time being, we need to stay focused. I appreciate you bringing this information to my attention. But for the time being, tread carefully. I'll be watching you just as much as I'll be watching him.
Oho simply nods, turns around and leaves.
Before you go, I'd like to inquire into what the possible questionable lead that brought you to us.
It seems you have enough secrets within your own ranks. I'm going to spare you the burden of having to carry ours. And with that, he walks away.
Ego probably slinks out behind you, seeing how awkward the tension in the room was. Like, I'm gonna let you marinate on that. Cav looks at Major Brell, looks at you, Rawl. Well, if that's a sign, good luck to you, Major. Walks right out. Meanwhile, the rest of the staff, armory staff and security team filter back into the armory and finalize their preparations. You guys are about 10 minutes out from mobilization. Is there any last minute discussions that we want to have before we begin to mobilize?
I think the only thing that Oho would have procured if they would have access to it would have been any override keys. So basically, like anything that could potentially help break, like bypass.
Oh, yeah, so, security spikes. Yeah.
security spikes because
I'm glad you brought that up. We do have those. Shit, I completely forgot about those.
just put them in the bag. Put all the 500,000 that you have in the bag, and we'll carry them.
5. You have 5.
100, got it.
5.
100, got it.
I
Perfect.
will add at least a 0, I'm sure.
It's okay.
That being said,
5 dozen's good.
Rawl, Oho, Kesh, is there any last minute dealings that you would like to take on?
We don't have to role play it out, but Raw would definitely want to go stop by Dr. Kratala, check on her real quick, and then also like double check, like do like a quick little system scan of the implant to make sure that there wasn't anything installed without his knowledge.
A diagnostic?
Not taking any
malware?
chances. Yeah.
Your Norton antivirus program feature has expired. You need to renew your subscription.
Correct.
With Dr. Katala's help, you're able to go through a quick diagnostic of your CPU, and she updates your firmware or your software, and gives you a quick disk defragment and cookies clearing, all that good shit. So, and by this point, your CPU is fully restored and is in full functionality at this point. But Dr. Kratala, she was more so talking Jay through the process, as she's still, in a very compromised condition. So she's just walking Jay through the whole process of how to scan somebody's CPU without incapacitating them, so on and so forth.
What is her capacity? She's recovering. What is her capacity at the hospital? Is she just there?
Yeah, she's just a patient right now, recovering.
Oh, okay.
She just had heart surgery yesterday.
Right, but it made it, the way you described it earlier, it made it sound like she's helping with other wounded that are there. I'm like,
oh no, Jay is helping.
okay.
Dr. Kratala is a patient,
Gotcha.
and then
All right.
B4 is also here helping out as well. So the medical staff is at full capacity, operating at peak efficiency and whatnot. But yeah, she seems to be in high spirits, and she seems to be missing her hair, but she's not like completely distraught over it. Yeah. Cash, how are we feeling? We sticking to the post, or we making a break for it? To be fair, the Pathfinders probably suspected you as a double agent. They just never had reason to confirm. And that would have been in your calculations.
Yep. And so Kez has gone through all the calculations of this one fib that has probably confirmed everyone's suspicions. And then he immediately formulates 2 branching timelines. One where he basically sets the entire base to self-destruct. That one goes out the window. One where he goes, could I kill everyone and get away with it? That also goes out the window. Third and final one is there's going to be a reckoning when the mission is done. Major Brell is very mission-oriented to the point that even if he gets his information, he is so dogmatic and so tunnel-focused that when it comes to a mission of this gravity, he's not going to picture anything other than the mission. And so, without even a look of concern or worry, Kesh arrives at the rendezvous point. No matter who's staring at him, no matter what anyone's doing, Kesh just appears, makes his presence known, and just is checking his sniper like it's every other day.
With that, the crew in its entirety assembles at the guard tower. As shuttles begin to arrive and the crew begins to board their respective transports. Weapons in hand, armaments loaded, payload secured. The Northwind Chimera, the Delta Class T3 shuttle, begin to ascend and exit the atmosphere of Falleen, entering into sublight space. Their intended destination, Bannistar Station, where the rest of this journey goes is to be diced. Thank you for tuning into tonight's episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. Tune in next week for the infiltration phase of this operation. We'll be breaking this series down into a two-part series, infiltration and then security. Tune in for each episode to see how this rescue mission goes down. We'll see you next time.